Alright guys, these are the explanations to your classwork on pages 653 and 654. So I've posted a document in Google Classroom, but I just kind of wanted to go over all the problems, and then that way during the Zoom meeting, if you still needed explanation, you could ask me at that point. Alright. I have to be careful that I don't accidentally cut off some of my board. Alright. Let's see. Let's go over this. I'm going to just start with number 3. So 2,000, how did we solve this? Divided by 2,000 equals 1 ton. 48 ounces divided by, you have to divide by 16 ounces because you're going from ounces to pounds. So remember, ounce is smaller, so that's our little fly to horse. Your pound here is your horse. You're going to divide of course. So ounces to pounds, fly to horse. We know there's 16 ounces in 1 pound. So if I'm trying to break this up, I'm dividing by 16. That gives me 3 pounds. All right, number 5. I didn't really like this one. I didn't think it was fair because they're giving you a fraction, and I don't think we need to tackle fractions when we're just learning how to convert units of capacity. So I'm going to give you the quick explanation. You do have the skills to do it, I know you do, but this was a tricky one. So they gave you 6,500, right? In pounds, and they wanted to know equals how many tons, right? So if I'm going from a smaller unit of measure to a larger unit of measure, fly to horse, divide of course, right? So 65,000 pounds, and in 1 ton there are 2,000 pounds, right? So I need to divide by 2,000. What irritates me is that they shouldn't be asking you to do this, but anyway. You could have done this 2 ways. You could have just, if you remembered this, you could have done this. You could have done it that way, or you could have done it the fraction way and made this a fraction. And if you make this a fraction, then you can keep change flip. I'm going to have to go up here because I'm running out of space here. But if I were to make this a fraction, right, and then change it, doesn't this give me 65,000 over 2,000? So then what, oops, oh, making a mess back there. Then what we can do, and hold on because I just want to make that kind of bigger for you. What do we know about all these zeros? Well, we know anything that ends with a 0 can be divided by 10. In this case, can also be divided by 100. Could also be divided by 1,000, right? I'm going to show you a trick though. when you have your zeros like this, you can actually cross these out. That's the same thing as dividing by 100, and it leaves you with 65 over 20. 20 goes into 60, goes in 3 times. You would have 5 left over with your denominator of 20. This reduces to 1/4. So it's 3 1/4. And I have a feeling you can't see down there anymore. 65 over 20 is this. So your answer is 3 1/4 tons. I didn't think this was a fair problem, but who am I? All right. Let me do some more, erasing. Number 6, 1/2 equals 8 ounces. I can't remember which one they gave you. Half a pound. You have to remember there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So you would take 1/2 of 16. So to solve that, 1/2 of 16 ounces. We know how to do that, right? 1/2 of 16, 1/2 times 16. Make this a fraction, gives you 16 over 2. 2 goes into 16, 8. That gives you 8 ounces. Okay, but I don't like doing the fractions right off the bat because we're just learning how to do this. Alright, number 7. 4,000, or no. Oh, 2 tons is less than 45,000 pounds. So in 2 tons, you have 4,000 pounds, and they want to know, is it less than 45,000 pounds? Well, yes, it is. How did they word that again? 7, 2 tons. So 2 tons. Because in 2 tons you have 4,000 pounds, so absolutely this is less. 8. 4 pounds is equal to 64 ounces. Well, in 4 pounds, if I took 4 times 16 ounces. 4 times 16 equals 64. And why did I multiply by 16 ounces? Because I'm going from pounds to ounce. So horse to fly multiply. So my pounds times 16 ounces in a pound gives me 64 ounces. All right, number 9. Number 9, they wanted to know 240 ounces. 240 ounces equals how many pounds? Well, I'm going from fly to horse, so I need to divide. So 240 ounces divided by 16 ounces in 1 pound gives me 15 pounds, right? If I were to do this, looks familiar. 16 into 80 is 5. Oops. Okay. Alright, number 10. Oh, that's a lengthy one, and it's going to involve a fraction. Number 10. 7 1/10 of a ton is equal to what? How many pounds? Equals pounds. Again, the fraction, I don't think they should be putting that in, but they did. Alright, so you could have solved it a couple of different ways. I chose to break it up when I solved it. So if I take 7 tons, so if I break up the 7 and the 1/10, so 7 times 2,000, that gives me 14,000 pounds, right? But then I still need, what's 1/10 of a ton? Well, 1/10 of 2,000 pounds. Isn't this the same thing as saying 1/10 times 2,000? Which becomes 2,000 over 10, which is 200. So then you have to add them together. 200 plus 14,000 is 14,200. So that one